Early 90s New York hip-hop was a fiercely independent, deeply local ecosystem. The culture lived on street corners and in underground clubs, operating entirely outside the reach of the traditional corporate music industry. But by 1993, the center of gravity had shifted. California was dominating the global charts with records like The Chronic and Doggy Style, while the East Coast, the very birthplace of the genre, watched its commercial influence steadily recede. The response arrived in the form of Christopher Wallace, the notorious B.I.G. His debut album, Ready to Die, was billed as the ultimate unfiltered narrative of the streets. The lyrics were explicitly autobiographical. Wallace detailed the daily mechanics of hustling, the struggle for survival, and the inescapable paranoia of the Bedford-Stuyvesant drug trade. This gritty reality sat in sharp contrast to the broader American landscape of the 1990s, a booming, highly sanitized, and heavily capitalized global economy. That distance presented a practical problem. Unvarnished street reality generates fierce local loyalty, but it lacks the mechanics to scale. To capture the global pop market, the culture required a new mechanism of commercial packaging. Sean Puffy Combs understood that specific problem. He recognized taking a raw New York artist into the global mainstream required a highly polished populace focus. During the recording process, Combs actively vetoed collaborations with grittier underground artists. He pushed for a sound that could travel beyond the city, ensuring the project remained focused on a slicker, broader audience. Looking at this professional audio recording equipment, you see the actual tools used by Bad Boy's Hitmen production team. Inside the studio, they engineered a tactical shift. They took B.I.G.'s aggressive street lyricism and layered it directly over highly recognizable, polished R&B samples. This sonic engineering functioned as a bridge. It allowed raw street culture to successfully infiltrate mainstream radio rotations, securing massive commercial wealth while maintaining street-level respect. Getting the sound onto the radio solved half the equation. But if these artists still looked like standard street corner rappers on television, the packaging was incomplete. Director Hype Williams provided the visual counterpoint. He systematically discarded the traditional hip-hop aesthetic of grim realism and muted three-piece suits. Williams developed a high-budget maximalist toolkit. He utilized extreme fisheye lenses, rapid-fire strobe lighting, and impossibly large, heavily chromed sets to deliberately distort reality. When applied to artists like Missy Elliott, the aesthetic completely replaced realism with comic book-level spectacle. Busta Rhymes was another figure visually packaged into an exaggerated, hyper-stylized figure that demanded attention on the television screen. This era of visual excess culminated